You know, one of the hardest things that you will ever have to do in your entire life is that moment when you sit back and you look at your life and you have the realization that the dissatisfaction that you're living with is totally because of the choices that you made to bring you there. This is a hard pill to swallow. It really is. It's one of the hardest things to come to terms with. And what's interesting about it is it's not the big decisions. It's not the decision to get married or not get married. It's not the decision to get divorced or not get divorced. It's not the decision to have children or not have children. It's the tiny decisions that you make over and over and over again every day that lead up to the big decisions. It's the tiny decisions about, you know, where you go to school and where you get up in the morning, or, you know, to say something and speak out or to not say something and speak out. It's these tiny little things every day that lead to these giant outcomes that you never planned for. So for example, I finished my undergraduate degree and have a degree in biology with a minor in psych. And I get through that degree and I moved to North Carolina and I realized I do not want to work in a lab. And so I don't know what to do. And I made this decision that I was going to go to school and I was going to study science. So I'm making these little decisions. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And I get through to my degree and I'm like, you know what? This isn't real great. Let me change and I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this. And I make a switch. And then I'm a librarian. And then I'm doing my stuff with a librarian and it's really great and I'm loving it. And then it morphs again and I'm doing curriculum development and then I'm doing training and then I'm doing all of these things. And then I get to my life and I look around at my job and I'm like, what the hell? How did I even get here? How did this outcome even occur? And it's because I was making small incremental decisions every single day about what I thought was the right choice. But what I failed to do was actually take any time in considering how what I was doing was going to pan out for me. And now that was in alignment or not in alignment with what I really loved or what I really liked. And that happens to us all the time, guys. It happens to us all the time in small ways and in big ways. Here's the thing that you must understand. If you don't start taking ownership of those little choices and the fact that you've engineered this shit, every day you get up and you do all of the little things without thinking, just on default, and then you wonder why you're not happy at the end of the day, or why you're not okay with yourself when you're by yourself, or how you're in awe at how you're living your life, and how did it come to this, and how did this happen, and how did I get here? Dude, you made it happen. You made it happen with these tiny little choices every single day that you just run on autopilot because you're not taking the time to think about doing anything different than what you have done before. And that's the thing. Now, the hardest part about this is at some point, life is going to drop a bomb on you, and you really are going to have that huge fallout, and it's going to force you to consider these things now. That's what will happen. And then at that point, you get an opportunity to make a new choice. You either get to decide, oh, well, maybe I should think about this a little bit. Maybe I've been doing it wrong. Maybe I actually should say something. Maybe I should be quiet. Maybe I should stop talking. Maybe I should really think about long term what I would like to do. Because if you're not strategic in what you want long term, and this is with work, this is with your family, this is in your relationships, like it doesn't really matter what it is. If you're not on purpose in deciding what you want that outcome to look like and engineering yourself back to how to get there, it's not going to happen. You're going to run on default and you're going to end up with the same shit you've had your whole life. That's just the way that it is. So I think that I think that we all need to spend more time thinking about those things. Really evaluating our choices and our decisions and what we're actually doing day to day that is impacting the outcome that we see in our lives. And you know what? People need help with this. If you're interested in getting some help, check me out. I'm a coach. You can find me on considerjennifer.com. But regardless, even if you're not working with me, read a book, do some journaling, have a friend call you out on your bullshit. You need people and another perspective in order to become aware of where you might be sabotaging yourself, where you might be hurting yourself and not knowing it. And honestly look at, with naked vulnerability, honestly look at how what you're doing is influencing, impacting, and creating what you experience. That's what it's about. So do something to take control of your life and stop living on that default. That's what we all need to do. We need to stop living on the default and start really making purposeful decisions about what we want to experience. That's what we need to do. Anyway, if that sounds good to you, you like this stuff, feel free to check me out on YouTube at Consider This. Is the name of my channel. You can find me here on Facebook or on Instagram, Consider Jennifer. Again, my website, considerjennifer.com. Coaching and speaking to help inspire and get people to get off their butts and start thinking about what they really want to experience and how they are in very direct control over what that looks like, way more than most people think. So don't forget, guys, every day, consider your life, be on purpose. Bye.